Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Atikah Awatif binti Azizan and my matric number is 073340. So today in my video, I will explain about my research paper for the subject of research methodology that is titled Cybercrime, the Impacts on the US Society. Through the background of the research, so basically in this background, I have wrote about the evolution of cybercrime in the US, the types of cybercrime that exist until today, and also the impacts of cybercrime in the US society. Okay, for the evolution, it is important to know because during the early introduction of cyber to the US society, it is a positive thing because it give the easy for their life, for their everyday life, for businesses, and for anything else. But somehow, until present day, the cyber has become a life threat that we call as cybercrime. So it is important to know about the evolution of the cyber first. And second, I also list about types of cybercrime that exist in the US and how it gives impacts to the US society. So the example of types of cybercrime is the first one is the ransomware. That is, it is at the top of the threat list. And other than that, we also have malware, denial of service attacks, and spam and phishing. So for the impacts, it gives a lot of impacts to the US society. The first impact is the economic impact because when the cybercrime happen, it can result in financial loss for individual, business, and even the government itself. And the second impact is the healthcare and public safety because the healthcare and public safety require their personal data. So lots of scammers use their personal data and hack their personal data, and it can endanger the public safety. And the third one is cybercrime can cause the increase in cyberbullying and harassment in the society in the US. So the data trends show a lot of cybercrime has give the impact for the case of cyberbullying and harassment. And lastly is cybercrime can lead to social media manipulation such as in news and anything else. Okay, next is the problem statement. So in this problem statement, we have issues like the US official find it so hard to find the perfect solution on how to combat the cybercrime that happened in the US. And the US also do not have strategy that is exclusively focused on how to overcome this problem in the society that has spread widely in the US society. Okay, next for the research objective, the first one is the evolution of cybercrime in the United States. Second, to classify types of cybercrimes that give different impacts on the US society. And the third one is to identify the impacts of cybercrime in the US society. Okay, next for the research questions, the first one is, will the evolution of cybercrime bring advantage to society in the United States or not? Second one is, how does each type of cybercrime have a different impact on the US society? And the third one is, what impacts does society need to face when cybercrimes occur? For literature review, it is about scholars' opinion and studies on the cybercrime that happened in the US. In a journal titled Fear of Cybercrime Among College Students in the US, an exploratory study by CISDU, the passage highlights the lack of research on fear of specific crimes, particularly cybercrimes like digital piracy, online scams, cyberbullying, and computer viruses. The second journal titled Social Media, The Unseen Risk of Cybercrimes by Emmeline Zhou, the passage discusses online harassment and cyberbullying that focus on their prevalence, forms, and impacts across social media platforms and among specific groups like students. Okay, next is the significance of the study. This research is vital for raising awareness about the evolving nature of cybercrime, which has transformed from a tool for work into a significant societal impact or a threat. While initially viewed positively, cybercrime began emerging in the early 2000s and continues to challenge policymakers and cybersecurity efforts. And next, for the scope of the study, this study focuses on the evolution and impact of cybercrime in the US society, spanning from the early 1990s, marked by the rise of the internet, to the present day. It examines whether cyberspace has brought more advantages or disadvantages over time and highlights trends, legislative responses, and societal impacts. Okay, next is the research methodology. So in this research methodology, I use the qualitative approach, that is secondary data from the journals, and also the data and trends from the official site of the US, that is the Bureau of Justice Statistics for the data, Internet Crime Complaint Center, and lastly the Pew Research Center for the data of trends of cybercrime in the United States. That's all from me. Thank you.